breathe, forgive yourself for literally everything, and let's get whole. Hello, lovers and friends. We are back with another episode of the I'm Okay podcast. Whew, it has been such a week. I'm a little overwhelmed, but that is my entire reasoning behind making this episode. Today, I want to just talk about science-backed, psychology-backed ways to stick with your goals. Because I don't know about you, but when I get overwhelmed with everything I want to do, it doesn't matter whether I'm excited about doing those things or not. I can convince myself to put it off until this hour, or put it off until tomorrow, or put it off until forever. Basically. So I really was looking for some ways to stay on track with my goals no matter what's going on, because we all know stuff happens and it can really get you down if you find yourself distracted and it feels like you don't have that control of your life. I already told you I'm Scorpio. I'm a very fixed sign, and sticking to things is very big to me, especially things that I want to do. So without further ado, here are 7. Yes, count them 7, the number of completion. It's so appropriate. It's so on brand. 7 science-backed and psychology-backed ways to stick to the plan. Stick to the plan you had in your head. Stick to the plan that you dream about at night. These are science-backed ways to stick to short-term goals, and long-term goals can be overwhelming. And even though they lead to a beautiful big picture, sometimes the route to get there can vary, and it may be completely different from what you had in mind. So I wanted to talk about it. Number 1 is to have clear goals. That is a big one for me. Because if I can't see myself doing something, I likely won't do it. Like, I've set up my life in a way where I have a lot of autonomy over what I do. And so if I can't see myself doing a specific task or goal, or if I can't see myself doing it, it likely won't get done, at least not today. So number 1 is to have clear goals, and ones, quite frankly, that you can see yourself doing. You know, if you can see yourself doing it, it probably won't be that difficult to tell yourself, just do it right now. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to have sub goals. You know, break the goals down. So a really good example, we're in summer and my AC decided that it wanted to break. So fun. It was right on track with the thunderstorms and the humidity coming in. So needless to say, it was a very urgent task that I needed to do. And I got really overwhelmed with all of the steps that it takes to get that AC fixed. You know, who's going to fix it? What parts are needed? What if I need a new system altogether? I was just getting overwhelmed, and then I wasn't doing anything about it. So what I did in turn was I said, okay, just Google this, or okay, just send this email today. Stuff like that can really add up and add towards whatever goal you set for yourself that feels really overwhelming. You know, break those goals down and turn them into sub goals as well, because they add up, and before you know it, you would have reached the goal that you set for yourself. Another example is to like, let's say you have a certain goal around nutrition. I'm really good with nutrition, and I have a very strict routine when it comes to eating. I don't randomly eat. I usually eat the same thing every single morning. And because I eat the same thing every single morning, it does something to my brain where it triggers it into continuing with routine throughout the day. And, you know, before I know it, I have a very scheduled and clean diet that it doesn't feel like I'm doing it on purpose. You know, it's so funny when people ask me about my nutrition, because it feels so natural to me I just do it now without even thinking. Sub goal of just, hey, I'm going to eat this at this hour, or just send that email, really adds up. And once you've done it, cross it off your list. That will also give some reassurance. And the third way to stick to your short-term goals is to have a vision board. I've had a vision board, and let me tell you something. I have remixed that board. I have remixed that board more times than I'd like to admit, but there is a really nice lesson that I was taught by a manifestation coach that said, wherever your vision board is, hang up imagery of something really big that you didn't think you could achieve, that you did achieve, parallel to it. And every time you look at that vision board, if you start to get overwhelmed, look at that picture of what you achieved that at one point seemed extremely impossible. So have a vision board. Put those things that you see in your head on to something you can see with your eyes. Because if you can see it with your eyes, you can get it into your life. So that's one way. I personally, I would give that way of sticking to your short-term goals I give it a 5 out of 10, because I don't know about you, but my dreams are very lofty. And so sometimes looking at the vision board, I would get overwhelmed. And even looking at the goals that I've already achieved, sometimes that would not make me feel any less overwhelmed about the bigger picture that I had on my vision board. That might be a thing where I need to just have sub posts on that vision board. And I think I do that in a way because I'm really into Pinterest. So I think I do that in a way. All right, scratch that. I guess I'm not that bad at vision boarding. It was just that board was just really big. Okay, so the fourth way is to create a habit. I mentioned earlier about how I changed my diet. I am from the Bay. I come from jollof rice and hot Cheetos. And then I would wash that down with some, dollar store candy, And it wasn't until I really wanted to I started to change my diet, cut out red meat, cut out chicken. I was really only doing fish at the time. And because I had this image of how I wanted to feel, it was really, that was my motivation for changing my eating habits. And like I said, I started out having like one bland thing at the start of the day, every single day. It was easier in the morning because I'm usually go in the morning, and I don't have time to be upset about what I had for breakfast, or I don't have time to think about really what I have for breakfast. So it's actually easier for me to have a very simple breakfast. So that's another way. Just create a habit. It takes 21 days for some people, 30 for some, 60 for some. But if you're doing the same exact thing, even if it's just one thing every single day for 21 days, you would have created a habit. And if it's a habit that is contributing to your goal, before you know it, you would have completed your goal. That's how I got my album done. 21 days of recording straight on. I had so much music that I was like, oh crap, let me put out a full project. The fifth way is to give yourself a day off. So we talked a little bit about burnout in the previous episode. We talked about burnout. We talked about how you can burn yourself out just giving your all to something and not having a very balanced life. So don't be afraid to give yourself a day off, especially if you have been just at it. Like a good example is recording for 21 days. I did need a break after that. I mean, I don't want to say I was out of songs, because I don't really think a songwriter can be out of songs if they're being completely honest about what's going on in their lives, what's going on in everybody else's lives around them. But I did need a break. Like, I knew I needed a break when I started to just record covers. And at the end of that break, it was a day. It was literally a day that I took off. But at the end of that break, I had a new melody in my head. So give your body a chance to recharge. We have very intelligent systems. Our bodies are very intelligent, and so you just need to recharge it. It's just like a phone. Recharge it, and it will work for you all day. Number 6 is to be nice to yourself. And I say be nice to yourself, especially on that day off, because look, if you're anything like me, when I take a day off, I immediately feel like there's no way that I can be this idle. I need to be busy. I need to be productive. I need to be doing. And it wasn't until recently that I understand the blessing of just being and the focus it takes to just be. We have it backwards in this world. We think we're focused if we're doing, but it actually takes quite a bit of focus to just be. So when you do take that day off, because it's my intention for you that this will resonate and this will allow you to take a day off, be nice to yourself on that day. Be nice to yourself about your thoughts, about maybe what the tension that happens in your body from taking a day off, Really sit with yourself like you are your own best friend. Find that place inside of yourself on your day off. The 7th way to stay focused and stay on track in getting your short-term goals done is to share those goals with somebody so that you can hold yourself accountable for those goals. Me and my best friend have a really beautiful agreement, kind of an unspoken agreement, but we'll just randomly text ourselves. Like we're in a text thread and we'll just randomly text each other. I forgive myself today for blank, blank, blank. And when I first started sharing those moments with her, I know that I was doing it because I actually respected her opinion. So if I was saying out loud that I forgive myself for something that I felt was unforgivable, I had to actually forgive myself because I've already said it out loud. It's already out there, and it's the same with goals. If I tell somebody a goal that I have and I respect their opinion in that area, I'm definitely going to get it done. So don't be afraid to share those short-term goals with somebody who cares about you and you care about. Honestly, this might be controversial, but they actually don't even need to care about you, because I feel like the less sympathy they have in these short-term goals for you, and the more you respect their opinion, it's gonna trick your brain into doing it. Look, I'm not a therapist, but it does work for me at least. So yeah, forgive yourself for literally everything, including getting sidetracked. You got breath in your lungs, so you can have at it again. Take these goals and get. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this and get more tips like this, like, share, and subscribe. And turn on the bell notification so that you get notified whenever I put out a new video. Also, if you like the song that's in the background, it is called I'm Okay from my latest project, Blackcurrant, which is available on all streaming platforms. I love you. Have a great week. I'm okay where I'm at